That was weird. It did not want to transmit for some reason. But that's fixed. So cool. Yeah, so I got ammunition shortage, so I just have to keep that in mind. Doesn't apply to my mortar, which, whatever. Um, and all long range fire is halved, so I just have to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, you're actually area fired on top of the long range penalty.
Yeah, yeah, so it's quartered for anything out of range, really.
And the other question I have was, did you want a turn marker?
Yeah, I think I just forgot to put one at the start. I
Yeah,
just wanted
I
to.
actually moved those counters up a little bit because I had initially placed some guys kind of on the half X's on the edge of the map, and then I changed my mind. But
Oh, I don't. Yeah, yeah, never mind. I was gonna say something, but it didn't make sense. So, what else? Bridge house, bridge hex are kindled. Flame is treated normally. No other bridge hex will ever burn. Yeah, so there's nothing really to worry about. Um, I think
just keep in
basically
mind that
these
all of the buildings are stone, so it's going to be harder to kindle them.
all buildings are stone.
Yeah, it's under the scenario variables bridge buildings.
Oh, you know what? We should have changed that. Uh,
I literally just noticed it, so
no worries. I can change it easy, or at least it should be relatively easily. Hit OK. It should just pick the new boards. Oh, done. There we go. Cool. So all buildings are stone, which really just makes it even harder to attack. And bridge is at level 0. Doesn't provide TEM. Yeah. Okay. I think we're good with that.
yep. Okay.
All right. Let's get dying.
Shocker, no weather change. Um, let me see something. Sorry, I need to look something up.
Yeah. No worries. I guess for the sake of the viewers, so when Hypno Beard changes these from a unplanked to planked, we'll just change the type so it's visible. Um, Plank Bridge is +2 to hit for area fire, so basically my mortar just has a harder time, which is different from not being able to shoot at them with my mortar, I believe, while they're on an unplanked. I think I'm not allowed like area fire or something. Yeah. Also, unplanked bridge hex may only be entered by minimum move, so units can only move essentially one hex at a time. Uh, Units that are on the bridge and suffer a morale break are casualty reduced instead, so that is gonna be bad.
Yep, there's going to be a lot of death.
Yeah. Also, to plank him, it's where
It's a
does it?
clearance check.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's gonna be a pain, especially since that essentially means you can't. Is it clearance attempt that you can still do on your opponent's turn, or is it only your turn?
I think it's only my turn, but I'm not actually sure.
Because if I remember, I'm trying to remember at when there was the building the bridges, but that was they kind of did it differently. Clearance. Where is clearance? Task by units, same location, become TI, DRM.
So I don't think I need to declare a clearance,
Yeah, you.
but it happens at the end of CC. Is that
For the time a unit declares a clearance attempt, it is considered engaged in that attempt until it makes a clearance dice roll. Is pinned or is no longer good order. Only unpinned good order units may engage in clearance attempts. final 2 or less is always required for success. Why does it not say when you declare it?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying to figure out when I have to declare it, and it says when I have to do it, but
Well, I mean, it's probably declared when you have to do it, but I'm just. It doesn't say, like, in your movement phase.
if I declare it when I do it, like doesn't the fact that it affects me at other points doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense to you?
What do you mean? When you declare it,
You go TI for clearance attempts, apparently,
yep,
right?
yeah, and then TI doesn't come off until like pins. They don't come off till the end of the turn. Okay, so any unit which so it doesn't say what it considers it as being, in the sense that it's a clearance attempt. Um, yeah, it just says clearance attempt. Cool. So if we look at roadblock, which is not exactly the same, obviously, but a good indicator, anyways. It says which is not moved or fired during that player turn, um, as evidenced by the placement of a TI counter and the declaration of their removal attempt during their movement phase or defensive fire phase. So you can,
Okay.
So potentially you can do it during your turn as well, or during my turn, and still get that done. Successful clearance dice roll at the end of the CC phase.
Right. So yeah, we'll consider it as a roadblock, and it's declared during my movement phase or my defensive fire phase, whichever. All right, that sounds perfectly fine to me. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail there, but I was going
No, it's good to clarify, especially since the way that plays out is so far different from the last time we used clearance and building the bridges, that it actually, like, it's good to have the actual rules instead.
So I don't think I have any other rally phase actions. Do you?
No.
Prep fire. Yes, I do have some actions here. The giant stack in 08 is going to fire on K5.
Sure.
With leader direction, so that is going to be 8 up 1, I believe.
It'll be 4 up 1 because it's halved for concealment.
Halved? Why would it be halved?
Because they're concealed.
Oh, right. Duh. Silly me. Yes. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So 4 up 1.
Yep.
Nothing. We're starting good. I have a bunch of other fire that I don't really want to do. Because it's all going to be quartered.
No, you would only be happy, right?
No, I'm firing at double range. These guys can't fire.
No, but like if N9 is shooting at K5, for example, like I'm the one with ammunition shortage. You're.
No, I know, but I'm at long range.
Yeah.
Because I only have 3 range.
Yeah.
So that's halved, and then I'm halved again because you're concealed.
Oh, right. I'm also forgetting concealment, apparently.
But yeah, I mean, sure, why not? Okay, this guy will fire. It's going to be 6 quartered, which is 1.5.
Oh yeah, 1.5 up 3. You'd need, you need a 2. You need to risk sniper.
Sure. And over here, same deal. They will actually fire at. They are going to fire at J4.
Okay.
So that is not up 3. That is actually just up 1, I believe, right?
Yeah, for the hedge.
So they are 1.5 up 1.
Ooh.
4. May actually be something.
Should be a 1 actually.
NMC.
And break.
Oh, yay. So, at least something. I'll take it. Moving phase. Both of these guys declare.
Sounds
Declared
good.
steps. And that is my movement phase.
All right.
Defensive fire. Light me up.
Hmm.
Or wait until I get closer so you retain your concealment. It's up to you.
Well, since you guys have already shot, I don't have too much to worry about, and I could get a nice 6 firepower. So let's do that. So 6 firepower against K8. There's no positives. Well, there's a -2 for hazardous movement, and that's it. So that is 5 on 6, which is a 1 MC.
1 MC, is it?
Yeah.
So, pass, fail, pin.
No, 1 MC. So pass, and then 2 half squats.
So, I'm sorry. Why is my 7 morale?
Because it's 1 MC, right? And then it's an unplanked bridge. So the SSR says they immediately turn into half squads.
Yeah, but I pinned, so I didn't break.
No, but
where are we getting your
yeah. Sorry. Can you even pin on that? You can. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So one guy half squads. Cool. I'll take it. And that's kind of it, I think, for defensive fire. Is there anything I would want to do? Not really. So, advancing fire phase.
I'm going to move those guys up to the top because I don't believe they can actually do the clearance attempt at this point.
If they're
considered good order,
pinned, well, pinned is one of those things that stops them from doing anything.
Yeah. No,
so
okay.
Yeah, but it's the
Does the half squad still get to do it?
Yeah. The half squad's fine. They can still do the TI stuff. It's just the 337 that, or one of the 337s that can't.
Yeah, I have no advance.
Okay, sounds good.
Routing, there is none. Oh no,
I have one. Technically, the closest. You have a range of 10, but that would interdict. Oh, they're equidistant in. Yes, I can still do that. Cool. So he in J4 is going to go I4 and H3, and then just continue. Actually, I can't. It'd be 1, 3. Oh no, he can. So we'll go into what is that? M2, H2 for 6.
Okay. Got it.
That's it for routes.
No advances. Close combat. I get to make my clearance rolls.
Correct. So there's no labor status. You don't have a leader. There's a -1 because it's a clearance attempt by a squad. You have another -1 because there is a half squad that's helping him out. The ECDRM is a -1, so you got -3 so far. And they're not, they're not sappers or anything. Wow, that actually, Ooh, nice.
They don't quite succeed, however.
No, they do.
Do they? No, let's see. I have
down 3.
Down 3. Yep. So they succeed. So that's planked. How do you want to mark that?
Oh, I've already. There you
Oh, look at you all. Oh, nice.
go. The only thing is, we'll have to just do this real quick, just because the game hates it when you change an overlay before.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so let's see. I think hazardous movement goes away, or end of turn. What do you think?
We can take it off at the end of the turn.
Okay.
It's not like I can shoot right now, anyways, so it doesn't matter.
Yep, and this one I believe is a -5.
So it will be, yeah, -5.
Yeah, 1 for the first squad, and then -2 for each of the others.
Yeah.
And they will not at all.
Yeah, it's gonna be harsh. Take pins off. Take hazardous movements off those guys. Take preps off. All right.
Yep, and then it's over to you.
Weather, no change. Rally actions, I'm not gonna bother. I wouldn't be able to self-rally this guy unless I get a 2. So, whatever. If you got any rally actions?
I do not, actually.
Okay. Prep fire. I might as well just, squeeze out what I can from the K5 guys. So they'll shoot 6. It's still flat. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yep.
It says a plank bridge receives a small target +2 DRM for area fire to hit purposes. Is that for things on the bridge or just for the bridge itself?
No, so it's things on the bridge, but it's area to hit. So basically, what it's saying is, before, if you're on an unplanked bridge, there's nothing for the rounds to hit. So they would be impacting water. Is how the game is trying to represent it. So it's basically just saying you don't even get the option. There's just no way for you to hit anything. Once it becomes planked, then you would get a regular +2, quote unquote regular, because it's treating the bridge as a small target. So really all it does is impact the mortar, and I don't have it set up to shoot those guys, so.
Yeah, and it also affects anybody else besides those guys in K5. Anybody, because they get the area fire mod, right? They suffer an area fire penalty in addition.
If I was shooting long range, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So it's a 7-on-6, which I think is a normal morale. Yeah, normal morale check.
All right. And pass, fail.
All right.
They're gonna surrender immediately.
I'm actually curious because it says broken unit may not enter. Yeah, so you can't enter. So I guess you'd just be eliminated for failure to route, which is dumb.
Yep. Well, there you go.
Yeah, can't say I'm too surprised just with how this scenario is designed. Movement phase, because I got no other worthwhile shots. Excuse me. We will do 2 units. So I gotta split this. There we go. We'll assault move into H3. I'm gonna put the DM guy underneath. Just so you know, there's a real guy there. The leader in L3 is going to normal move into K3 for 2.
Okay.
Continues into J2 for 4.
All right.
Into I2 for 5.
Sounds good.
And we'll stop there. Elsewhere. I can't even do anything with those guys. That sucks. The second M3 is also going to split. 2 units will assault move into L3. And that will be it for movement, defensive fire.
They will declare clearance attempt.
Oh, oh, you already have the labor. Yeah, cool. I mean, technically, I don't think you have to declare clearance just because they have the labor.
Yeah, I'm just so I remember, you know.
Oh, gotcha.
And my unit in 08 will fire at this guy now.
Yep.
It's a little more effective, so that's going to be 8 up 1.
Mm-hmm. 8.
8 on 8. Normal round.
Both pass, jeez.
Doing well, man.
Yeah, those are the exact numbers I needed.
The MMG will continue to fire.
That sounds good. So 4 up 1?
Yeah, so 4 up 1.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing. I get the damn thing in the hex. Okay, N9 will also fire at K5.
Okay.
So that's going to be 3 up 3.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo. So 5 on 3 is a NMC, and then your sniper.
Top guy breaks. And sniper does not activate.
And continuing our thread, H9 will also fire over here. Mm-hmm. That is going to be another 3 up 3. And nothing. And that is it for defensive. Over to you.
I got no advancing fire, so route phase. This guy has to route. Is that technically...
I mean, he doesn't have to route, right? He's not adjacent to anybody. Just stay there.
No, like, technically he doesn't have to, but I obviously want to try and have units survive as much as possible anyways. The problem I'm having right now is trying to figure out what's a safe way for him to route. That range is 10.
Where does he have to go? I guess would be the question.
The closest would be these two, because it's closest in movement factors.
Yeah, so, K4, L4 are interdicted, though, I think, from 08, right?
So I could route to J4, and then J3, and you'd have to string it there to see if there's interdiction. Now, the guys on the bridge can't interdict. Yeah, you'd have height advantage, and it doesn't look like it impacts the house. Does it touch the house? No. All right,
no,
cool.
I don't think so.
So interdiction, yeah, they'll become a half squat, and then they continue into K3. So that's 4 total. I'm just gonna have them go into K2, and that's it for routes. Oh, I forgot to take off the DM on this guy.
And that guy is gunned down trying to flee across the unplanked bridge.
Yeah, he's just stuck there.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Advanced phase, I'm going to have open this, take that. So 1 unit in K3 is going to K2. The leader in I2 is going into H2. I'll leave them on top of the count of the concealment. The unit in I4 goes to J4. One of the units in H3 will go to I4. Yeah, that sounds good. No CC.
Oh no, I gotta make my clearance attempt.
Yeah, but sorry, just no fighting.
Yeah, that's all right, so it is going to be a net -6, I believe, with the labor mod.
Yeah. Nice.
Yay. Do your replacement while I clean up the counters.
Yeah. Yeah, there you
go. Okay. No weather change.
go. Typical.
Yeah. I have no rally actions.
I have two. I don't think you can see this guy, so he's going to retain concealment, but to let you know, it's an 8-0 leader.
Another leader.
The squad does not rally, but loses DM. Over here, the broken squad that does not, or the full squad that does not have a DM, they don't rally. And I'll just put them under the concealment counter, because whatever.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I don't suspect you'll shoot at them. So. And that's it.
I do have no targets. Prep fire. Oh my, yes. The units in 08 will continue firing at K5.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be an 8-1. Oh, poo.
Poo. Random selection. It's okay. I'm gonna break. Oh my god! Really?
That is what it is. All right, we will continue. Moving on to our next selection. N9 will fire. That is going to be a 3-3. Pretty sure that's nothing. 9-3. Yeah, that's nothing.
9. Yeah, no.
And then the same deal from, well, actually. Units on the bridge, K8, since they can now fire, will also fire at K5.
Okay. Because the only thing I want to say is because movement on the bridge is minimum move, right?
Well, plank does not.
Sure, but to get onto the other bridge hexes, you'll want a plank. So it's just in case, like, minimum move. If you shoot with those guys, it'd be the K9 guys, if that's the goal. But I don't think they'd be able to get on there. So just using minimum move 1 hex. Can still be made. Can be made to enter whose entrance costs in the blood.
Oh, are you effing kidding me? Pin and CX?
Yeah, which actually makes even less sense because if you'd be pinned and CX, which, like, well, I guess, like, you're moving into it anyway, so you can't declare a clearance attempt, like, right away. But
Okay, well then yes, they will not fire. The guys in back of them in K9, however, will.
Yeah.
That is going to be a 4.5 up 3.
Okay.
Yeah, that's moving over. The sharpshooters in H9 will fire at them as well, just to try and save some of my bacon. It's going to be a 3 up 3. Oops. Nothing. 8 on 3.
No, just missed.
I would have taken a pin.
I would have failed it too. I'm sure of it.
I think that's going to be it for prep fire. So movement phase. Minimum move.
Yeah. I mean, I have to shoot, so.
I know. Yeah, I'm not.
There's no point not. So 3 firepower down 2. Of course, 4 on 3, 1 MC. So casualty reduction. All right, I think I'm alive. So that's first fire for that guy. It doesn't say. I'm gonna assume that there'd be no residual.
No, I mean, if you got residual, you got residual.
But like, that would be so dumb.
It's kind of brutal. I'm not arguing with that.
Sure, fine, we'll put it, but I want it. I want it known that I disagree. Even I disagree with it.
And assault move, so the residual first.
Yeah. So it's down to 5 is a pintash check. So they're are they pinned?
So I think I've got to make it just for a sniper.
Well, so minimum move does it does that make them pinned immediately? Oh, after it's undergone offer. Yeah, so roll for pin, and then regardless of the result, you'll be pinned anyways. Yeah, okay. So,
So they're pinned twice.
yeah.
And then if you wish to.
No, I'm not gonna shoot again. I will shoot later, but there's no point.
That's fair.
All right, now J4 will reveal. Will also shoot because they have hazardous movement. It's -2, so 3 down 2. 7 on 3 is a pintash check, so nothing. Not even a sniper. I have no reason to shoot anything else, so advanced fireface.
I'm going to kick one of those counters off over there just for.
Oh, yeah, no worries, no worries.
A lot of status counters on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got to watch out for 12s on your guys too, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it. I think what I'll do, actually, is this will be technically cheating because it's not, well, cheating. It's not the truth, but I just put you as having booby traps. So when I roll a 12, or when anybody rolls a 12, it'll just kind of kick in and it'll be a good reminder.
It'll just trigger it, yeah. Advancing fire, I have none.
Sounds good.
Routes, I also have none. I think you do either.
Yeah, none. Take off preps. We can take off pins.
I will advance.
Yep.
And now I get to make my. Well, no, I couldn't declare my attempt because they weren't there.
Yeah, you're not gonna move the 527s. Because at least the only reason I say that is because at least like they're not they can shoot at half firepower at range,
Yeah, no, that's thank you. I had totally forgotten about them, so yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, those guys are dare death.
You know what's really pissing me off? After what 14 goddamn or 11 scenarios with like 8 turns a pop, this is the scenario they decided to put a time pressure on.
Right? And not only is there a time pressure, but like the rules seem to like the SSRs seem not designed properly because you can already start on the bridge. So why not just like give the first hex be like planked instead of both available ones unplanked? Are you meant to start on the bridge that way? Is there like something that we're both missing? Like I don't know. I don't know what it's trying to say.
Like, because otherwise you miss a turn, basically. Like I'm missing a turn on this hex because I had to move into it, so I can't declare. I have to do that on your turn.
Yeah, and then hope you get it, and because of
exactly.
and like because of how things are going, like the guys at the front are obviously going to get shot, and they're at -2, so any shot against them will automatically CR if they fail a morale check. So I mean, 7's not a bad morale, obviously, but it just kind of like
it's a meat grinder. There's a reason I'm stuck 6 squads out there to start with.
Yeah, it's crazy. Roll of 5 doesn't change weather. Gonna do my rallies. I'm gonna do the 4 first. No. And now the 5 full squad also no. So nothing else in rally for me. Also, the other thing I want to point out, and I hate that this rule still exists. I don't know, but the support weapon only repairs on one, so even your mini machine gun has that reduction. I still think that's dumb as a rule.
Yeah, it's alright. It is what it is. I mean, come on. I'm so used to operating without support weapons at this point. It's not.
Yeah, we haven't been really lucky with that.
I don't think I have any rally actions. So. Oh no,
Well,
I do. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's why I brought it up.
Nope.
No, yeah,
It's not broken at least, so we can continue to feebly attempt.
that's right. So I'm gonna make two separate shots because I'm no point fire grouping. So K5 to K7, it's down 2. That is a 5 on 3 normal morale. All right, people fast, nice. J4, same thing. 1 is a 1 KIA. They can't break. So, random selection. Who dies? Please don't tell me that was the full squad.
Yep.
Oh my god. Because that means the other dies too, because everybody would break. But since you can't break on an unplanked bridge, the half squad's also dead. Which then delays it. Oh my god. Yeah, I hate this. I hate this, and I'm the defender.
It is what it is, man.
I know, but I mean, just like having lived this frustration myself,
I got half the bridge planked on like the first couple turns. I'm actually not too sad about that, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean it's the follow up and stuff, but yeah, movement phase. Frankly, I don't have anything I want to do, so defensive fire.
Oh, all right. We'll start with our happy-go-lucky machine guns in 08. They will fire, the 2 light machine guns will fire at K5, continuing that fun firefight. So it is going to be a 4-up-1.
Sounds good. 7 of 4 is PTC.
Fantastic.
Pinned.
And I have rate.
You do?
So I will keep firing because sure.
6 morale.
6 normal morale.
Break.
The squads in K8 will fire at the unit in J4. So that is going to be a 4.5-up-1, I believe.
Yeah. Excuse me.
9 and 4.5. The 5.27s in K9 will fire here. So that's going to be a 5-up-3.
Sounds good.
Nothing. Because, sure, why not? Giggles. N9 will also fire over here, so it's going to be a 3-up-3. Nothing. And last but not least, H9 will fire over here at J4, so that's going to be a 3-up-1.
Sounds good.
Nothing.
All right.
The commissar shouts angrily in Chinese. And I have nothing to declare, so okay.
Sounds good. I got no advancing fire I want to do, so routes. Honestly, it's probably better to just keep doing that. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Damn. So I can go any route I want. I can't get closer. Rats. If only those LMGs were 6 range instead of 7. He's gonna route. His choice is gonna be K3, so it doesn't matter like what route he takes. Does it have to be? Whatever. I'll look that up some other time. Take a morale check. Does not pass. Becomes a half squad, and then continues to join his little buddy. And I'm just gonna toss everybody on top. These guys are not consumed. Cool. I'm gonna clone this here. There we go. All right. That's my route phase. You can take off preps and defensives and move. Advance. Just the slow trickle of bodies that are like a conveyor belt of death. I don't have anything else. No CC. Actions for anybody. Turn 3.
I have no rally actions per se, but I will attempt to repair the medium machine gun. Nope.
I will do. I'll do the H2 guy first. Nope. Non-DM guy. Yes. And then DM'd guy. No. Who's DM?
Prep fire. Why, yes. Yes, I do. The light machine guns over here will start off our fun. That would be a 4 of 1. 8 on 4, I'm pretty sure is nothing. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's no rate. Why can I never hit the damn X?
Yeah, if only there was like acquisition, that'd be nice. I'm gonna look at this and it's gonna bug me because it'll be like, oh yeah, actually the building's GM2, not 3.
We'll just go around, and 9 will fire 3 up 3.
No.
H9, 3 up 3. K9, 5 up 3. And that's it.
Sounds good.
Movement. Whee! Minimum.
Yeah, I'm taking the shot with K5. 4 on 3 is 1 MC. Alright.
Passes.
At least there's that. Leaves 1 residual.
Minimum move.
2 on 1, 1 MC. Alright, at least there's that.
And last guy.
And nothing.
Alrighty. I think that's it for movement.
Sounds good. Excuse me. Defensive fire. J4 reveals 3 down 2. 5 on 3. Normal morale. Half squad. I'm not even gonna put I don't know why I put a prep counter on my guy. No other shots, so.
Okay. Advance fire. Yes. Well, no, I can't because they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
Routes, none.
Same.
Advances. They will advance. Nothing in close combat.
Nope.
Over to you.
Weather, no change, almost. Rally actions. I've got. I'll do my 5 guy first. Nope, sadly. 4. Nope.
Repairing my gun.
Mm-hmm.
Curse your Red Army!
Nothing else. Prep fire. We'll do the K5 against K7 as a 3-2. 3 on 3, 2 MC.
So, all 3. So.
No, the second guy pins. Or would pin, but whatever.
It was down 2 MC, right?
Yeah, 7 morale, right? So it just equals. So the top and bottom guy suffer the casualty reduction.
Hi there. Sorry about that. I had a cat sitting up on top of my computer because he decided to basically sit his ass on the power button. So give me a second. I'll be right back in.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. It's funny. There's actually a joke rule about cats. I think they call
thankfully, I had enough open that freaked out trying to close that it didn't let me cancel it. But
yeah, I think they call it COBA, C-O-B-A, cat on board artillery or something. Anything the cat touches is like automatically eliminated or something. Fun stuff like that.
Yeah, when I was younger, I was playing a board war game called Fire in the East. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah.
We had just finished setting it up, which took about 4 hours.
Yeah.
And so we left it for the night, and my cat at the time decided that the Red Army looked exactly like its food and proceeded to attempt to eat a significant chunk of, like, 3 military districts. So I came down and the Red Army was scattered all over Russia with, like, bite marks in it. So, yeah.
Oh, man, that sucks.
All right, I'm sorry. Where was I?
So you had 3 units in K7. The top and bottom one suffered casualty reduction. The middle one was fine. So I don't know which one specifically. I wasn't keeping track, but
yeah, I think we got it there.
sounds good. J4 is going to make the same shot because cower, so nothing, thankfully. I have no other shots. Movement phase. We will have the conscripts in K2 will go to L1. I don't think anybody can see them. And then they continue into M2 for 3. And that's it. Commence fire.
The light machine guns in 08 will fire at K5 and are now consistent. So 4 up 1.
Mm-hmm.
8 on 4. That's nothing. Oh, hey. I think these guys can still fire at them. They'll attempt anyway.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they can reach.
Yeah, I think LS is clear.
Yeah, I mean, you're higher anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue.
So 3 up 1? Or
Yep.
I'm sorry. How about that? 3 up 3.
Yeah.
These guys will fire here.
Okay. That's the 3 up 1 we're looking at.
That's a 3. And finally, K8 will fire. EA fire 3. Nothing. Sure, we can have those. Yeah. Okay, that was a dumb fire, but okay. Next turn for it. That's it.
Advanced fire, I got none. I want to do. So routes, I don't think there's any to do. Nope. Advanced phase, I don't even.
Continue the funnel.
I mean, I might as well, because
Well,
otherwise it's just like I'm sitting back like way too much, and that's just kind of too cheesy. I'm not gonna move the conscripts in the back, and that's it. Close combat phase, there's nothing. Oh, these guys want to declare clearance.
yeah.
Oh, right. One guy was pinned, but the half squad could.
They're both pinned. The minimum move pinned.
But that was last turn, so only one of those guys is pinned.
I don't think the half squad can do it on its own. I think you have to be a full squad, I'm sure.
Good question. Let's double check. Ah, man, I hate being sick. B24 clearance. Oh, at least one one MMC.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
it's going to be a -1. That's it, I think.
yeah, for the moist. That's it. So you at least get the labor counter, which is a good start. All right. That's it. At the end of my turn, I don't think anybody can see him, so he'll gain concealment. Actually, do I have to roll for that? You know what? I'll put the concealment, and then I'll check the rules as it goes to your turn. Concealment game.
No weather change. I think the pin comes off, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it's always at the end of the turn. I just got a bad habit
Yes,
of
whatever.
forgetting to take it off. So.
Okay. Repair roll for me? No.
I will attempt rally here. No, rally here. Yes. Getting all my half squads back. Sweet.
Hey, you can go combine them into a single squad.
I actually don't know if I can combine.
Oh, that's right, because you're conscripts. I don't think they can do that.
Well, I know you need a leader, but I forget if the Chinese can, just like as by default. I'd have to look. But yeah, that's all I got for.
Alrighty. Prep fire. 08. Continuing over here. Skip or up 1.
Ooh, 6.
6 on 4 is
Normal. Normal. Yeah.
Yep, normal.
And both break.
Yay! Hallelujah. Because I don't really have any other shots at these guys, and well, no, I guess I can with them. All right, these guys will actually fire. Screw it. They're gonna fire over at those guys.
2.5 up 1, yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 up 1. Ooh. Oh, now my IFT rolls are gonna be good.
Yeah, I know,
so
right?
3 on 2.5. 2 MC.
So we can take the concealment off. 2 MC, they break MC. Actually, I forgot to do that too with the other one, and I didn't break both for some reason. Disrupt.
And your sniper.
And sniper, correct. No sniper. Why not a drop with the sniper?
The squad in I-10 will fire at I-4. So it's going to be a 1.5 up 1.
Okay.
6 on 1.5.
No, just miss.
And that's it for prep fire. Movement. These guys declare clearance.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Vassal. I do not want to grab the turn marker. It's going to be 1.
Sounds good.
2, 3. The bridge is 1 move, in fact, I think.
Yeah, I haven't. I can't imagine it'd be 2. I don't think the scenario says that it's 2. So.
NAR. NAR. What is that?
Why am I blanking on? Is it big R
Or
or small?
road cost? What?
Yeah, per road cost. So, because technically a bridge would normally be like considered a road or whatever. Like it's a footbridge, and I don't think they define it as anything but a footbridge. So you need to see if there's a. Let me check the index here. Is there anything for footbridge? Fording, fortification, footbridge B 6.44. Oh, is that classified as a footbridge, or is it just unplanked bridge? Because if it's footbridge, then we might have been doing something wrong. Unplanked bridge. Okay, so yeah, so it just says it's a bridge. So yeah, just treat it as a road. That's way easier that way. So
it's going to be 1, so
yeah, yeah.
They will finish the move there.
Sounds good.
Let's fire.
I mean, all my nice guys are broken, so there's not much I can really do. Two, three. Yeah, nope. I'm not bothering. Advanced fire phase.
Do I have any? No. Routes, I have none. I don't think you do well.
My guys can't route. They're disrupted. Which actually ends up being really interesting because you can't take prisoners on the bridge, I guess. Can you? So, suddenly everybody just like walks onto the unplanked part of the bridge, like, all right, we're with you.
I mean, I would say no. I think the rules, if you're
This
red, and they probably, but that just seems silly to me. So I would say no.
This is the one scenario where they should have had a part in like the scenario variables or whatever that said no quarter is in effect.
Yeah, I know, right?
Why?
Oh, wait a second.
What? I don't recall seeing...
K6 is planked. K6 is planked.
K6 is planked?
Under the scenario variables, bridge buildings, it says HR 5 and 6 do not apply to bridge hex K6. So it is not, it is a planked bridge.
SSR...
Yeah, and the first sentence of SSR 4 is all bridge hexes exception K6 begins unplanked.
Cool.
There you go. Yep. So, hey. Sorry, I wish I'd noticed that before. Would that have changed your defense at all?
No, honestly, not at all. Just because, like, you still have 2 turns to get... Actually, you have to get both buildings?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can
K2
see.
Yeah, it's an ask, that's for sure.
So anyway, okay. I have done my advances. Close combat, I will get my roll, which is going to be, we will lead with the half squad, because that's better.
Yeah, so it'll be a -3, because it's whoops.
No, -4, because I get the -1 for labor, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot the EC. Yeah, -4.
Yes.
You've been really lucky on those. I think you only failed
Thank
one.
God. Can you imagine this if I'd rolled crappy?
I mean, in things other than the IFT, yeah.
Huzzah! It's time for suicidal charging.
Hmm.
And I think they lose CX, yeah.
Uh, you didn't get in there this turn, so yes, they would have lost it at the start of your movement phase.
Yeah, I just forgot to pull it. So. Okay. Hooray! Over to you.
All right. Gusts. I don't think that's going to do anything, but
You haven't actually kindled anything, so yeah.
yeah, I mean, not that there's any reason to kindle. Honest, like, yeah, there's not much of a reason to kindle. I think that literally would only activate gusts, so. Change, yeah. Gusts. No effect on wind force. Blazes. There's no smoke. Yeah, nothing. Cool. Rally phase actions. I'm going to attempt a self rally on the guy in J4. Nope. DM will come off of.
He can't.
Oh, yeah. Well, never mind then. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
So we'll do the 5 guy. Sweet. I get one.
Yay. All right.
Yeah, after 4 turns or whatever. Yeah, that's it for rally stuff.
Trying to repair. Nope.
Prep fire. I got no prep fire I care to do. Movement. I mean, I can do it later, but whatever. H3 will assault move into H2. I'm just going to put the non-concealed guys on top. G4 goes to H3 as assault move.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to bother with that. The half squad in K2 can't be seen where he is. So, no more moves. Defense fire.
And here we go. Okay. The 2 light machine guns in 08 will turn their fire to L5.
Okay. 2 up 1.
Yep. 6 on 2. Pentester.
Pentast, damn. And they're both fun.
The unit in K7 will fire at K5, which is going to be a 4 up 3.
Sounds good.
That's nothing, I believe.
No.
The K8, is that K8 or K7? K8.
Okay.
K8 will fire at J4.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a 5 up 1.
Yep.
don't cower, but
No,
that's
just miss.
The two squads here will fire at K5 as well. That is going to be a 3 of 3.
Mm-hmm.
7
7 on 3 pins, but they don't do anything.
And the units in I9 will fire at the units in J4. That's going to be a 3 of 1.
Another pin test check.
Yeah. That's it.
Sounds good. Is this immediately... Okay, route phase, cool. Alright, no advanced fire phase. Route phase, again, have none. We need to get defensive. Advanced phase. I don't really care to shove them elsewhere. M2 will advance to L2. K2 will... Like, I'm not going to do anybody else, and K2 is just going to get concealment on the half
Sounds
squad.
good to me.
No CC. I guess I could have done something else, but whatever. Turn 5. Ruskies, or Reds.
No other change. My repair.
Hey,
Huzzah!
finally. Flannelly.
Yay! Howdy doody. I like it.
Don't jinx it. Don't be too happy.
I think you're rallied from me, right?
I don't have rallies.
Prep fire. Unit in 08 will fire over here at the unit in L3.
Sounds good.
So that is going to be an 8 up 1.
Mm-hmm. 10, I think that's a miss.
Yeah, it's nothing. The unit over here will fire at the units in I4. That's going to be a 1.5 up 1.
Just missed.
Oof, just missed. I know I'm taking some pot shots, but you know.
No, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's wrong, to be honest.
Movement phase. I need to look something up if you don't mind. Just give me a sec.
Sure. Oh my god.
One. This is assault move.
Okay.
1.
Mm-hmm.
2.
You're there.
1.
Mm-hmm.
2.
You're there.
1.
Mm-hmm.
2.
Sounds good.
1.
Mm-hmm.
2.
Okay.
1. 2.
Sounds good.
Over to you.
You know what? I will do this one thing just because. The mortar in H0 will shoot at K6. Should be a straight shot. Now there will be a +1 for the orchard, and there is a +2 for being on the bridge. 8. So it's a hit. It's a 76 millimeter mortar, so it's halved. So 76 be 14 7. So it's 7 firepower, no modifiers. K2.
All right, top to bottom. So they're dead, and
They're casualty reduced, not K. And then 2 morale check for everybody.
so pin.
Wow, pins for everybody. Nice. I need to size this, and then that's it for.
Concede.
Yeah, like the dice roll I had today were great, but it's hard to be happy about them when I know, like, I've been on the receiving end of this sort of abuse is probably a really bad word for it, but it's I just don't know how the red player is supposed to play if anything goes wrong. Like, this was a dumb shot that I was like, I just want to get acquisition so that when you get into this building, that's when, like, you know, I won't have to, because I still had a shot on it, so it's like just pour it on and you know.
Yeah, no. What's interesting is I actually thought about this for a second and then was like, nah, I'll take it a little slow. These guys can actually bypass this building.
Yeah, and you can technically go into the building with them because I don't think broken units can stop you. No, certainly not disrupted. I think there's something about, if I'm wrong about broken, then it's probably just disrupted. Let me see here. Yeah, disrupted personnel remain disrupted until rather to capture disrupted units do not prevent enemy movement into or through their hex, which is contrary to just being broken. So it's like you get into the building, that's at least, you know, the start, right? And the only problem afterwards is turn 6 is the Hail Mary upon Hail Marys. And you'd have to.
Yeah, honestly, there's no way. There's too much. I didn't get there. I needed to be there by probably turn 4.
Yeah,
at the latest to get in. Like, I was just kind of trying to see if I could get across the river. I mean, I kind of got across the river. I probably would get across the river, but that's about it.
Honestly,
yeah, no, it's one of those scenarios where it should have been like 8 turns.
Yeah, I think the only thing that you could do differently, or that, like, would have potentially had more of an effect is, like, maybe this turn, if you declared Dare Death on the guys, you need a leader, don't you? Yeah, I guess if they didn't start next to a leader, would they have been able to?
Am I allowed Dare Death?
Yeah, SSR3 says the 527s are Dare Death, as well as 1 SMC. I thought that's why you were holding him back, was to have.
No, I completely missed that. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I guess I kind of read that. You know, I was kind of like, oh, it's the underlying morale bit, and I just kind of skipped over it mentally. So yeah, no, that's my fault.
Yeah, this is also the problem with why, like, having huge. So for the readers at home, there's 6 SSRs, which is like too many in general, and they're all like they're paragraphs. Frankly, the SSR3 is the shortest one, but it's sandwiched in everything else, and it's just annoying. Yeah, like, that was the only thing, like, you Dare Death, but I think Dare Death would have only gotten you into the building anyways. not that that's a bad thing or anything, but you know, it at least gets you there, and you have higher morale, so you're more guaranteed to get in the building. But otherwise, like it doesn't alleviate the problem of getting across this road, and
Yep.
like having two units here, you can't shoot them with this stack. You can't shoot them from here, from here, from here, from here. Like there's no spot to negate certain areas. Like I don't even think J2 is really visible, and I can cover three of the most important hexes. Even K3 is something like
Believe it or not, J2 is actually clear line of sight from 08.
really
Really.
that seems
String it.
strange.
It's
Yeah.
weird, but that's where it is.
Huh. Yeah, it's just on the corner. That's very interesting. I didn't think it would see it. Um, like I guess really the point just remains that you can go down the line now that we know with the MMGs or the LMGs and MMG, but you're having to expect the 9.2 to do so much, and I mean you malfunction the gun once, and now it's like it's a paperweight for 4 6 turns or whatever it was.
You can't even really reliably move it.
Yeah, and it's just this is a scenario that like if the red Chinese had smoke, if the 527s were given smoke as like a exponent 2 and dare death, you can have them run into this building, and then you can have them pop smoke, um, which at least allows, like, it's not a guaranteed smoke, it's a 1 in 3 chance, but it's better than literally anything else you have, right? um,
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it's kind of double whammy on this. I really think that they needed to
More
like,
turns.
well, they needed to bump the turn length. I mean, even at least one, preferably two more. I think because I
Yeah.
really, realistically, if you're going to keep all the other rules the same, you're looking at least the, 3 or 4 turns to clear the bridge. You
Hmm.
know, and that's, I mean, you didn't really put a lot of firepower on the bridge. You kind of had the
Yeah.
minimum. You could have stacked quite a bit more on there and really torn the shit out of those guys.
Hmm.
Um, so that's one thing that could have been done. I think that they needed to play with the clearance rules. Um, I think the clearance requiring a regular clearance die roll is probably too difficult. And I know that sounds weird, but like I had to stack 3 squads to get even a 50-50 chance of putting the bridge in. And you saw that, like, if you don't get one of the segments, well, congratulations, you've lost a whole other turn. I mean,
Yeah,
I rolled
and
really well to get those bridge segments in, and I still didn't get it through until turn 4.
and what's even more punishing is, I mean, we saw it with the upper X not being planked. That even if you do plank this one on turn 1, you're cut off, right? You still can't route through there. So anybody that does manage to survive and break is just dead. And then if anytime you fail planking, immediately that is, you're retaining the -2 for hazardous movement, which is murder on the guys on the bridge.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, yes, they're trying to alleviate it a little bit with that, um, the ammunition rule, but honestly, I think if you're going to do that, just give them area fire for any range. You know, like that's really the only way to prevent what happened, which was, hey, you pin a bunch of dudes, even if you just pin them on the bridge. Oh well, you can't make a clearance turn this turn.
yeah, like I kind of wonder if maybe the way that the scenario is written, like maybe it would make more sense to say like the KMT must set up a squad or 2 squads in K5, and the Reds start with 2 squads or a squad on the planked portion in K6. That way, like you're adjacent, and things can still go wrong, but it lends more credence to 22 men led the attack and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, and obviously
have
I didn't do that. Like the way it would have been would be you could put one MMC out on the bridge to start, and
mm,
that's it. and I had, what, six? I mean,
Well, I
I had
don't
like
think
80 dudes out there.
I, the only problem is that like not doing that just makes the 6 turn counter or the 6 turn scenario that much worse, right? If you don't start with all like trying to bridge in 2 spots right away, like I don't really know how else you're supposed to get around that.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the thing. It was either it was okay, I can put the 9-2 on the bridge where he's probably going to get killed or wounded
Mm,
more or less immediately.
yeah,
Um, to aid in that, or I could put him with the machine guns and hopefully, do what I did, which was break some dudes and
yeah,
force some retreats and things like, get rid of some of those concealments. And I felt it was just more a more useful thing, particularly once I noticed that everybody was, it was bad enough with wooden buildings, but stone buildings on top of that, it's like,
yeah. And I mean, all things considered, like this isn't like I can't threaten it under any like reasonable circumstance. And frankly, like you can see literally every like there's 3 hexes or at least 2 hexes. Technically, I think you can see L2, but M2 and K2 are the only hexes you wouldn't be able to see. And frankly, like that's super powerful, right? Um,
yeah, I mean, that was my only thought was like, I wanted to get at least a little bit of firepower on your guys to
mhm.
just play them, which is I got really lucky with like that guy that was started off in H9 was really really got lucky a couple times firing at those guys behind the hedge. I actually considered putting the machine guns like over here,
Mm.
but then I was like, the focus is going to be around the bridge, so I needed them over this side more. Um,
Yeah, I think you would have regretted it if you'd put him. I honestly I don't see how anything but 08 is the quote unquote correct spot.
yeah, I mean it's level 2, so you can see over all the obstacles along the water's edge.
Hmm.
You know, it's got great LOS onto all of that, the center of that town. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have LOS over in here, but you know,
Yeah,
what are you gonna do? Like, there's you got to take some, you know, you're never gonna have it 100% the way you like.
hmm,
Yeah, I think what they should have done is something like you have to stick a unit out for hazardous movement. It takes them a turn to do it. Maybe TI them or something so that they can't do anything. Like, you know, that plus the minimum move would, it'd take you 3 turns to bridge those hexes, but that's pretty murderous. I mean, that's half the game.
yeah. I feel like there's something that to be said about just saying like instead of doing all these like clearance things and flanked and unplanked and whatever, like have it be so that you you make it so that it's automatic that a second is planked if a squad is under TI for a full game turn, right? Like that way, like even if it's just your turn, whatever. But there's ways to workshop it so that you know you don't run the risk of not planking the bridge. Period. Like imagine if you just like you roll poorly on task checks and you go 5 turns, like you're stuck on one spot. Everybody keeps dying or whatever. You're and you just keep trying to roll, and next thing you know, you just like you can't do one clearance on one hex. You know, it would just be really shitty if that was like the limiting factor. So
Yeah, I mean, I lost
five
like
squads,
a
one,
30, a third of my force. Yeah, no, more than that. 2, 3, 4,
three, four and
like
a half.
5.5. So yeah, like about half my force.
Yeah, no, you lost 4.5, and then the unless no, yeah, 4.5. So a third of your score. No, wait, that is half. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's dumb.
It's
Um,
it's it's a lot. It's a pretty significant chunk of my force.
just
Um,
getting across, and I hate. I've never been a fan of scenarios where the attacker has significantly less. Like I have 5 squads more than you. Sure, they're conscripts, but like in CC, we're we're equal essentially. Like it's
but
still
yeah, I mean,
three. It
we've seen
still
what the Chinese, the Kuomintang conscripts can do in CC.
that's right. Uh, and like so I still even if they're conscripts, like I'll take close quarters. Like I don't care about close combat, and ammunition shortage like only really affects me at the lowest level. Like if I'm rolling 12s, which is it's not enough to really matter. Like unless there's something about ammunition shortage that also hits on cowering or whatever, which I don't think is a thing. But um, I admit, like, if it is, then I forgot. Um, but it's definitely one of those things that, like, there's there's just, I don't know. This is like Bridge of Life. This is a scenario that shouldn't exist at the level that they're trying to portray it, because it doesn't give enough tools for the attacker to be able to cross in a less bloody fashion, and it's dicey. If someone's dice are cold slash hot, mine were below average, so no reason for me to complain. But if you're rolling below average as the defender, I don't see how the attacker is supposed to do anything to combat that. Because if imagine like these guys, if they had broken instead, and I had real non-broken guys in K5, you can't route away, so everybody has to surrender, or you low crawl. But then you low crawl into a hex where you're now super overstacked, and anyways, it's just
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is suffering probably from end of package syndrome, where they probably played it
probably
once and then just kind of went ahead with it.
probably it certainly
Yeah,
wouldn't
I mean,
surprise me.
I don't know. It seems a little less punishing than the other scenario you played.
Yeah, but that's because you had a 9-2, and the scenario lends itself more to having a doom stack like this, where you can shoot and not really be shot back at. Which, don't get me wrong, that's not, I'm not complaining about that. That is something that I would have loved to have had when I played a similar this the counterpart to this scenario. But yeah, it's there's something about the rules that aren't fun, are unnecessarily complicated, and I mean, as we saw, like, the only losses I have were literally just because I was like, yeah, I guess I'll suffer interdiction, whatever. Like, they're not even technically through direct to action. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Like it should have just been a. There should be like I don't know. They should have had some different SSRs about how to handle the bridge. Like
yeah,
you can move one squad can move across a hex a turn or something like something along those lines to get them across the bridge quickly, and then there's another squad that goes behind them basically once a turn it planks a hex.
yeah, yeah,
The minimum move, the pin plus the CX is really, I don't know.
it's
That
punishing.
plus hazardous movement on top of it is like, gee, just kick me in the nuts while you're at it. I mean,
Yeah,
and
it's pretty
make it
bad.
a random die roll to plank the bridge. It's just like, it's just insult on top of injury.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I don't really think I have a problem with either of our die rolls. I think we kind of ran hot and cold, both of us at different times.
Mm,
But yeah, it's a little bit frustrating because it feels like it should be more fun. It feels like 90% of our units didn't do anything. We spent
yeah,
5 turns dicking around on the bridge and then nothing.
yeah, and like, it's not like there's an incentive for me to like do anything, right? Like, I'm just gonna wait till you come to me, because if I shoot at long range, I suffer, penalties to my firepower, and I run the risk of ammunition shortage. So I'll wait till you cross this road, and then you're taking 12 down twos and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and you're concealed on top of that, so
Yeah,
the return fire is going to be pretty, uh, you know, yeah. It just there's no incentive for you to do what they did historically, which was try and light the bridge on fire and like, why did they
yeah,
make the building stone? Like, there's no reason. Like, just leave wood.
yeah, and that's a good point you bring up. Like, the fact that I could kindle it is like, okay, cool, but there's literally no incentive, because trying to kindle is prep fire action, right? So why would I give up if I have two squads here, right? And we'll say, God forbid, I throw in a leader there. Why would I want to kindle when I can just shoot a 6 down 2 3 hexes away?
Yeah, no,
Like,
on top of that, even if you do manage to kindle it, it's basically no effect. Okay, great. Nobody can go in the building. You can still move around it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have to wait till it turns in. You'd have to wait till it turns into a blaze too, which it makes it even. It's yeah, it's worthless.
Yeah,
Also,
it's just a little bit silly. Yeah, it definitely needs another pass or two to make it better. But
honestly, I think we could have just said it deserves a pass. Just play the other scenarios or whatever. Um,
yeah.
which speaking
The
of,
next one, I don't know if that's gonna be. The next one is weird. Like I don't even know about the setup on the next one.
yeah, I don't like the setup on the next one, so we'll leave it as a teaser for the viewers. Um,
I have questions. I'll just say.
yeah, yeah, I the setup rules for my guys are absolutely stupid. Um,
Oh, you
and
think yours are dumb? Are even worse.
oh, I know, like I really don't quite understand, but yeah, well,
I am, however, looking forward to getting back to my demolition charge chucking ways.
yeah, yeah, that'll be interesting. And then after that, it's just two more. One of which has cavalry apparently, which will
Oh, the last
a
charge.
shit ton of cavalry. Oh my god. Um, and I actually have decent leaders that time. And then it ends with two high ground maps, which is interesting. And more cavalry. So
We.
to reflect the
Yeah,
extreme.
it's gonna be an interesting one. I'm not really confident with
Oh
my
my
ability.
god, I hate this last scenario immediately. Why?
Oh, now I gotta look.
Historical rule 2. You'll hate it.
16 or 17.
17, last scenario. It says to reflect the extreme ammunition shortage, the Red Army units will cower with the following modification. Instead of reducing the firepower of the attack, Red Army MMC that roll doubles are replaced by an unarmed 106 of the appropriate unit size after the attack is resolved. The use of leader direction does not prevent this occurrence. So it's like anytime you roll doubles, all right, this one of these prisoner squads. Like you're
Oh, and hey, no dare death. So I can't even have them charge in.
uh it doesn't say there's no dare death. Oh no wait, it does say there's no dare death.
Oh no, and wait, on top of that, yeah. Oh, okay. So those guys are now useless. Those
Yes.
106s,
Yep.
because they're not even elite, so they don't. Wow. Yeah.
They're literally only good as like okay, they have to run off the board now. But like it's just
They have to run off the opposite board. Yeah, they have to cross the ridge with those guys.
yeah. You have to go uphill both ways. God.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well.
Hey, look, it's
Okay.
coming. We're coming to an end. we're almost there.
What do we do after this? Just please let me whet my appetite.
Um, if I remember correctly, while trying not to die, um, there's a couple of things we could do. So there's a scenario I was trying to get played called Flight of the Intruders. There's a not quite similar version that's a lot older called Border Clash. It's Mongolians versus Japanese and Manchukuans. We could play that one. If we don't want to for whatever reason, I'm fine with having that be like an extra thing. They're virtually the same. They use essentially the same maps. They're on the same day, same location. It's just whatever. If we choose not to do that, the next scenario, if we're trying to do it, proper, would be an Ethiopian versus Italian. There's a couple scenarios that aren't in the Hollow Legions pack, which is the latest release. If we want to just leave Ethiopians, Italians in the dust and have that be something only Gary and I play, there is a Japanese Mongolian scenario in 1936. It's a old scenario, 2002. So quality could be, anywhere on the scale. And if we choose not to do that for whatever reason, we find ourselves in the Spanish Civil War.
Oh, well, I will leave that up to your call, and hopefully we'll crank through these next two scenarios quickly, or next
Yeah,
three scenarios.
yeah. I mean, the next one is, I think that one's also short. How long is Lazaku Pass? 7. I think the action in this one is going to be really, really fast. Just judging by the setups. So I won't be surprised if honestly, I think all the next scenarios in this pack will be one sessions, or single sessions is what I should say. Just
Yeah, just because
because.
we'll give up from disgust.
Yeah, there's that. Um, there's a lot of the upcoming scenarios that are either short or small maps. 6 turns. A lot of them are 7 or below. So nothing too crazy to have to deal with. And I think only a few of them have vehicles or guns to be concerned with, or are overly large. So we don't really have much to worry about. They should go by rather quickly, and at worst, we'll figure something out, and as a treat to the viewers, we'll get the change of scenery for Condor Legion, Spanish Civil War stuff.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, if nothing else, the scenario pack has gotten me to go read a book on the Chinese Civil War.
Yeah. Excuse me.
All right,
This is
go get
actually
some sleep, man. Take some Nyquil or something. And get yourself better.
this is actually one of those scenario packs that I wish was done like 10 years later and had sources listed, because I don't think they do list sources anywhere. Um, and if I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, I think the lore behind this pack involves at least one diary that could or could not have been inflamed a little bit. I actually have a a what is this, like 700 pages? Um, yeah, about 600 pages. I wish I'd gotten this a lot earlier. It's called History of the Sino-Japanese War, 1937 and 1945. It is something that was written and translated in Taiwan. Sadly, I've only gone through like 150 pages. It's pretty long, and I haven't even read all 150 of those pages, to be honest. But you know, I'm not even at the part where they talk about these battles, and I can't comment on how in depth they are, which is unfortunate because again, like this is it's a very interesting piece of history. The this part of the conflict, one that doesn't get a lot of attention, and I would imagine has a lot more complexity in it. Not only in how things go, but just with like the availability of arms and stuff. Like there has to have been more machine guns and mortars and stuff. It's weird that none of that exists, but I guess anything could be possible. So
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm going to take off. You
sounds good.
feel better, and I will talk to you next week.
Sounds good. So, just to close off, I do want to thank Anders B80. Thanks
Stick
for
to
the
me
follow.
like glue and keep your eyes open.
As always, appreciate the views, the comments that people have, the chats that people provide as these scenarios go by. We're almost done with Long March. I'm sure we'll have a lot more to say about the pack, even if it might be slightly redundant as things progress, because again, it's nearing the end, so it'll be interesting to see what they throw at us at the very end of scenario packs. As mentioned, some scenario packs kind of tend to get a little bit on the slower side, or the less tested side of things as you go through them. So, stay tuned. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you. Probably won't do anything this Friday unless someone picks me up for a game, and if not, then next week. So thanks for watching, and see you then.